Even saying this out loud, I'm just like, girl, stand up. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. It's Kira Lee, and I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't even sure I was going to do this video because it feels so vulnerable to me. But then I took a second and I thought, there's definitely so many other people out there going through the same thing, so I'm just gonna have to suck it up and we're gonna have a girl chat. Let's just be honest, the dating pool is filled with piss, battery acid, radioactive waste, whatever gives supervillains their powers, all of it. And as much as the dating pool sucks, you have to take a step back and realize where I was at, or where I'm at in life, was attracting people who are not good for me. So going into 2026, I'm not dating with the same mindset, the same desperation, and the same emotional place that I've been in. My standards have changed. Let's talk about it. Today I'm talking about everything I'm doing to level up my dating standards in 2026. And listen, this isn't about being picky or delusional. It's literally about choosing myself and choosing people who choose me back. But before we get into this video, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe right now. Okay, now that you're subscribed, we can get into this video. I had to be really honest with myself. I wasn't choosing men from a place of confidence. I was choosing from insecurity, loneliness, boredom, especially boredom, fear of being alone, all of it, all the above. And when you choose from those places, you attract people who match that energy. When I was anxious, I attracted men who kept me guessing. When I was insecure, I attracted men who validated that insecurity. When I lacked boundaries, I attracted people who benefited from me not having any. I didn't even realize that my dating patterns were literally a mirror of where I was emotionally. And the crazy part is, when you're not in a good place, chaos actually feels familiar. It feels normal. You don't see inconsistency as a red flag. You see it as maybe he's busy. You don't see disrespect. You see it as he didn't mean it. You start accepting the bare minimum because you don't feel worthy of more. And I just had a moment, an epiphany, if you will, where I was like, okay, Kira, I cannot take this version of you into 2026. That Kira attracts problems that she does not deserve. So my first standard of going into this new year is this. I'm dating from a healed version of me, not the girl who was tired, drained, and trying to find love in people who were not even choosing me. Healing is shifting my taste. Healing is changing what I entertain. Healing is changing what I think is attractive. And healing is changing what I allow. When you start doing your inner work, your type literally upgrades, because now you want someone who matches that new, healthy version of you. And that's the era I'm stepping into. Let me tell you something. Consistency has become my love language, because I've realized anybody can be great for a week. Anybody can be obsessed with you for a month. Most men can love bomb. Most men can say the right things. But showing up consistently every week with effort, with communication, with emotional stability, that's where most men clock out. And I really have to admit to myself, I used to get impressed by the wrong things. Good morning texts are cute, but they don't mean consistency. Long paragraphs, the Pisces in me loves that. But that's not effort, that's performance. I don't care how good the first 2 weeks are. If you can't maintain it, it doesn't count. Consistency means I know who I'm dealing with. It means you don't switch up every other day. I'm not wondering if you secretly hate me today.
I mean, I probably still am, but I just gotta cure my anxious attachment style.
You don't disappear and come back with excuses. I don't have to chase you for basic communication. You plan things, plan dates, all that. Plan when you're gonna see me, all that. Your words and your actions match every single time, okay? When a man is inconsistent, I get anxious. When a man is consistent, I can finally live in that soft, feminine space that I'm supposed to be in, okay? Consistency lets me relax. It lets me feel safe. It lets me feel chosen. It lets me show up as the best and most authentic version of myself. And she's kind of weird, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. She's kind of weird. But if a man makes me question where we stand, decode mixed signals, read between the lines, chase clarity, stress about replies, then you're not for me. I'm not entertaining confusion in 2026. Consistency is the new bare minimum. If you can't show up like the grown adult that you are, who knows what he wants, that eliminates you by default. I don't make the rules. Actually, I do, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not forcing effort out of anybody. I'm not reminding a man how he has to treat me. Imagine that. Imagine that. Show me consistency or move it along. One thing about me, I used to overdo it. I would over-explain myself, over-invest in men who weren't giving me anything real, and over-give because I wanted to prove that I was worth choosing. And looking back, it wasn't even about them. It was about me wanting the situation to work so badly that I was willing to carry the entire connection on my back. I'd convince myself, maybe he's just busy. Maybe he's stressed. Maybe if I just try a little bit harder, he'll show up.
Y'all be weak in the knees, stand up!
Girl, no. All I was doing was making excuses for men who were not actually choosing me. So now, 2026, I'm not doing any of that. If you pull back, I fall back. If you're inconsistent, I instantly lose interest. Like that. I'm not fighting for effort and I'm not forcing chemistry. You show me who you are with your consistency, your communication, and your effort. Not your potential, not your charm, and not your words. And something I had to learn the hard way is, if a man truly wants you, you won't be confused, ever. Before I would keep pouring in because I didn't want to lose them. But now, if I lose you by matching your energy, I was never supposed to have you in the first place. And honestly, matching energy brings me peace. It helps me stay grounded. It keeps me from getting ahead of myself. It prevents me from romanticizing the bare minimum. And it stops me from building a connection alone. Because in 2026, if someone makes me confused, that's my answer. If your energy switches, mine switches too. I'm not doing excuses, only effort. Let me tell you something I had to unlearn. Being overly available is not a love language. It's not loyalty. It's not showing up. It's not showing you care. It's literally self-abandonment disguised as effort. I used to be the girl who would reply instantly, drop everything to hang out, cancel my own plans. Crazy. Adjust my schedule around someone who barely adjusts theirs, and make time for people who barely made time for me. Even saying this out loud, I'm just like, girl, stand up. I was treating access to me like it was free. Like anyone could tap in whenever they feel like it. I would abandon my routines, my gym days canceled, my self-care nights skipped, my journaling, my quiet time, my content schedule, all pushed aside for men who weren't even giving me consistency.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is very hard to admit. At that point, I wasn't even giving them just my time. I was giving away pieces of myself. My peace, my habits, my personal goals, the things that kept me grounded. And here's what I realized. Anybody who requires you to abandon yourself in order to be chosen is not, and I repeat, not someone worth being chose by. So going into 2026, I'm moving differently. My routines do not get rescheduled for a man. My me time is not optional. My self-care is not negotiable. My goals do not get paused because someone texted me last minute. Who are you feeling like? If you want to see me, you plan. You respect my schedule. I'm not shrinking my life to fit into yours. The version of myself that I'm becoming does not cancel her life for temporary attention. She protects her peace, her routines, her growth. That's the standard now. Access to me is earned. My time is earned. My space is earned.
Speaking to me is a privilege. You do not have privileges.
And I'm not abandoning myself again to make someone else feel important. I used to overinvest so fast. Before a man even proved consistency, I was already showing up like we were building something real. I would give my time, my attention, my softness, my emotional support, my energy, my effort to someone I barely knew. And it wasn't because they earned it. It's because I wanted the connection to work. So I poured in first, hoping that they would meet me there. But here's what I've learned about myself. I was not showing up as the healed version of me because I'm still healing. And when you're still healing, you can easily confuse effort with attachment and the bare minimum with connection. When you're still working on yourself, you tend to romanticize potential, attach too quickly, make excuses for things that don't add up, give effort that hasn't been earned. And that's exactly why I'm slowing down in 2026. Not to play games, not to play hard to get, but because I finally understand that real compatibility takes time. And let me be real, anybody can be perfect the first 30 days. Anybody can show up consistently for the first 6 weeks. Anybody could look like boyfriend material for the first 2 months. But month 4, month 5, that's when the real personality comes out. That's when masks slip. That's when intentions become clear. That's when patterns show up. That's when consistency either holds or collapses. So this year, I'm giving things space and I'm letting things unfold naturally. I'm not rushing to call someone my person after a few cute dates. If anything, I'm observing how you talk to me, how you handle conflict, how you show up when life is lifing, how you respond when I set boundaries, whether your effort stays the same or slowly fades, whether intimacy changes your behavior. I'm not making anything official with anybody until I see you are over time. Like 4 to 5 months of real consistent behavior. At the end of the day, I'm still healing. I'm still learning myself, and I'm still rewriting old patterns. And slowing down helps me protect the version of me that I'm working on becoming. 2026 is my year of observing, staying grounded, not romanticizing early effort, and letting people earn deeper access to me slowly. No more rushing, no more overgiving, no more jumping into relationships with men I barely know. Slow is safe, slow is clarity, and slow is self-respect. I used to think chemistry was enough. Like if the attraction was strong, the vibe was strong, the flirting was good, that automatically meant that there was something real there. But the older I get, the more I realize that chemistry can be manipulated. Peace cannot. A lot of men know how to create chemistry. Flirting, charm, trauma bonding, love bombing, deep conversations way too early, creating intense energy that feels like a connection. But that's not intimacy, that's intensity. And intensity is not stable. It's exciting, but it's not safe. So in this new year, I'm choosing peace over sparks every single time. Because here's the reality. If a connection has me anxious, overthinking, confused, insecure, doubting myself, consistently needing reassurance, checking my phone, waiting for replies, feeling like I'm doing too much, that's not chemistry. That is my nervous system screaming, this is not your person. I'm not entertaining connections that feel like an emotional roller coaster disguised as passion. I want a connection where my body feels calm, not activated, where my mind feels stable and not overstimulated, when my heart feels secure and not stressed. Because when a man is genuine, consistent, and emotionally stable, your anxiety quiets, your guard naturally lowers, you feel seen, you don't have to decode anything. I am not Indiana Jones, okay? And honestly, peace makes you more attractive. Peace makes you softer. When a connection is safe, you don't feel the need to perform. You don't feel the need to prove yourself. You don't feel like you're walking on eggshells. He doesn't create confusion. He creates clarity. If a man brings out chaos, I'm uninterested. If he brings confusion, I'm done. If he brings emotional instability, I'm out. The bar is, do I feel safe with you or do I feel stressed out by you? Because if I have to choose between butterflies or peace, I'm choosing peace. This is my calm dating era. This is my soft dating era, my grown woman dating era, peace over chemistry era, every single time. We're trying to find a husband, y'all. Listen, I'm too grown for vibes, situationships, and men who don't know what they want. If your energy is unclear, I'm uninterested. And I'm saying that because I've been on the other side of it. I used to entertain casual things, not because I really wanted casual, but because a part of me felt like maybe that's all that I could get. Like a real committed relationship just wasn't in the cards for me. Like wanting something serious made me too much. So I'd settle for, it's fine, it's whatever, even when it wasn't. But choosing casual because you don't believe that you can have commitment is still settling. It's still self-abandonment. It's still shrinking your desires to fit someone else's lack of intention. And honestly, I deserve better. When someone's intentions are unclear, it's usually intentional. They like the access, the comfort, the attention, but they don't want the responsibility of actually choosing you. In the past, I would try to make it work. I'd give benefit of the doubt. I would only see potential instead of patterns. I'd stay because maybe he would get there. In 2026, I'm dating people whose intentions match their behavior, not just their words. So I'm paying attention to things like, does he communicate clearly? Does he say what he wants? Does he follow through? Does he make space for me in his life? Do I feel prioritized or just convenient? Because intentional men don't breadcrumb. They don't confuse. They don't avoid labels. They don't disappear and come back. They don't keep you in a gray zone. They don't take girlfriend privileges without actually making you a girlfriend. Intentional men show up consistently. They're clear. They're emotionally stable. They don't make you question where you stand. And the biggest thing I'm learning, I deserve intentional love. I deserve clarity. I deserve someone who is sure about me, not someone who likes me but isn't ready. So in 2026, if you're unsure, that's my answer. If your intentions are unclear, I'm done. Because the version of me I'm becoming is healed, is honest with herself. She doesn't shrink her standards out of fear. Intention only. Let me be honest, every man I've ever dealt with showed me exactly who he was in the beginning. The red flags were not hidden. I just didn't want to see them. I would notice things like inconsistency, disrespect, avoidant behavior, jealousy, love bombing, poor communication, immature reactions, and lack of effort. And instead of taking it seriously, I would tell myself, maybe he's just stressed. Maybe he just needs time. Maybe he doesn't know how to communicate. Maybe he'll change once he likes me more. But here's the truth I had to face. I wasn't ignoring red flags because I was stupid. Oh, I mean, I was just a little stupid. I was ignoring them because I didn't want the reality to ruin the fantasy. I wanted the potential more than the actual person. I wanted to believe that if I just gave it time, or showed up consistently, or lowered my expectations, or loved them harder, the red flags would magically disappear. They don't. They never do. Red flags never get better. They only get louder. And every time I moved past a red flag, I ended up paying for it later emotionally. So in 2026, if you show me who you are on day one, I believe you. I'm not asking follow-up questions. I'm paying attention to things like, are you consistent without me reminding you? Do you respect boundaries? Do you take accountability? Do you have emotional maturity? Do you know how to talk through issues? Do you treat women well in general? Because those are not small things. Those are little previews of a relationship dynamic. And another thing that I had to accept was, at our big age, men do not grow out of those red flags. They just grow deeper into them. If he's avoidant now, he's going to be avoidant later. If he's inconsistent now, he's going to be inconsistent later. If he trauma dumps on day one, he's going to try to make you his therapist later. And we deserve more than that, y'all. In this new year and in this version of myself that I'm becoming, I'm not explaining away red flags. I'm not waiting to see how it plays out. I'm not hoping that he grows up in the middle of a relationship with me. If your behavior makes me anxious, unsure, that's enough. I don't need proof. I don't need closure. I'm choosing myself over potential. I'm choosing peace over problem. I'm choosing clarity over confusion. And from now on, I'm not ignoring red flags. I'm taking them as direction. This one is personal because for a long time, I didn't even realize I was doing it. I used to try to earn love, earn effort, earn consistency, earn clarity, earn someone choosing me. Not by saying it out loud, but through my actions. I would overextend myself, over-communicate, over-explain, be extra understanding, downplay my needs, be overly patient, accept things that I didn't like, settle for half effort because I didn't want to come across as needy. And deep down, it came from this belief that if I was easy or chill or low maintenance enough, then maybe someone would finally stay. But here's the reality that I had to face. If someone is unsure about you, you cannot convince them into certainty. If someone doesn't choose you in the beginning, they're not gonna suddenly choose you later. And every time I try to prove myself, it chipped away at my confidence a little bit more each time. Because trying to earn someone's love always feels like walking on eggshells, shrinking to be likable, overperforming for attention, fearing you'll be too much, accepting the breadcrumbs because you're scared to lose the crumbs altogether, feeling disposable when they pull back, rereading text trying to understand what you did wrong. I'm not auditioning for roles that require me to erase pieces of myself. I'm not auditioning, period. I'm not doing emotional backflips for men who haven't done the bare minimum. I'm not chasing clarity. I'm not begging for effort. I'm not waiting for someone to magically wake up and see my value. Here's what I know now. If you're unsure about me, that's my sign to leave, not fight. If you're inconsistent, that's my closure. If you need to figure things out, I've already figured out my exit. If I have to convince you that I'm worthy, you are not my person. Because real love, real connection, real intention comes from someone who sees your value immediately, not after you exhaust yourself trying to prove it. And the version of me that I'm becoming, the one who's healing and growing and leveling up, she is not available to anybody that makes her question her worth. This is the most important shift I'm making because none of these standards matter if I'm not becoming the woman who actually lives by them. And I don't mean becoming a healed queen who has everything figured out. I'm still learning myself and I'm still unlearning old patterns. I'm still working through insecurities and habits that no longer serve me. I never did actually. But what's different now is I'm becoming someone who treats myself with the love that I used to beg from other people. I'm becoming someone who keeps promises to herself, chooses peace over chaos, shows discipline even on bad days, honors her routines, spends time alone without feeling lonely, feels confident in her own space, takes accountability for roles she's played in past patterns, knows she deserves real effort and not crumbs, and doesn't abandon herself to feel chosen. Because this version of me that I used to be, the one who accepted the bare minimum, ignored red flags, rushed emotional intimacy, settled for casual when I wanted more, she was acting from fear. Fear of being alone, fear of not being chosen, fear of wanting too much. The version of me that I'm becoming acts from worthiness. And when that shifts inside you, everything else shifts too. Your standards shift, your tolerance shifts, your taste shifts, your boundaries shift, your energy shifts, and your interaction shifts. You start being attracted to men who are stable, consistent, intentional because you are becoming stable, consistent, and intentional. You stop falling for chaos because chaos no longer feels familiar. You stop ending up in situationships because you know you deserve partnership. The woman I'm becoming, the one who protects her peace, honors her boundaries, and moves with intention, she naturally attracts better men with better energy. Not because she's perfect, but because she fully believes she deserves better. 2026 is that year that I step into her fully. Not a new me, the real me. That version of me was always under the surface, waiting for me to choose her. And that's the version of me I'm committed to becoming. So yeah, dating right now is chaotic, unserious, confusing, but I'm not participating in any of that anymore. 2026 is the year that I move with clarity, confidence, intention, and standards that actually reflect the woman I'm becoming. Not settling, not performing, not shrinking, just alignment and choosing myself every single time. If you're on this journey too, I hope that this made you feel seen. Healing is not pretty, it's not easy, and it definitely does not happen overnight. But it's worth it when you finally start choosing peace over patterns. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Seriously, thank you so much for being here with me, for growing with me, for listening to me, and to just have a cute little girl chat and talk about dating. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.